That's more than enough of that.
Yeah, she
bangs Ricky Martin. Meant to be very good live, Ricky Martin.
Is he?
Meant to be like a young Elvis.
Oh, is he?
Dylan Moran is with us, ladies and gentlemen. Would you care to say hello, Dylan?
Hello, hello.
Mother's Day. You got anything special planned for your mum?
I'm going to not see her.
Okay. Well, that sounds to me probably like the perfect thing. I'm also missing my mother tomorrow.
Well, it's very hard. Well, I don't know, what can you give them anyway? What's the traditional thing?
Flowers, candles, chocolates.
The traditional thing is that you ring them.
Yeah.
Because you never do.
Do you look forward to speaking to your mother?
I do, yes, I do. I do, yeah, when she takes her gum shield out. Yeah.
I quite like chatting to my mum. As I've got older, I found it easier. How old are you, Dylan?
I'm 32.
I know very little about you. You're quite...
yeah, I am quite. Yeah. I don't. So, yes.
And you never?
No, never, not me.
So today, this is a...
First.
Treat. Black Books is currently on Channel 4. What a great show Black Books is.
Yeah.
Have you been watching it?
Yeah, the new series you've been watching.
The new series is my favourite so far.
Well, thank you.
Bill Bailey is the star of the show, really, of course.
That's right. Everybody else is the star of the show.
Yeah,
Bill's
and
the star.
Tamsin, is that the name?
Tamsin is the other star.
She's terrific.
She is terrific. She's a very, very fine comic.
And she's bounced back from being in some terrible commercials.
I don't know. I don't watch them.
Years ago, she was in some commercials, and I thought, oh, these are annoying. And this woman was in. I thought, she's an annoying woman. Then she was in Black Book, and it took me a while to get over my initial annoyance of seeing this woman from
what was it for?
I can't even remember. It made me so angry, these adverts, that it was to do with some sort
of
product. No, it was something eating. I think it was a lady's, maybe a lady's product.
Wigs, something
like that.
Yeah.
And but then you forgive.
You do. You move on.
You move on. We forgive. You've got a great head of hair on you, Dylan.
Well, I'm not responsible for that.
Well,
I mean, it's a separate entity.
It's looking good, though. It's
its own bioculture. I just leave it alone. We sleep in separate rooms.
But look at that. Working with Bill Bailey, is he envious, do you think?
There's a lot. We have our dressing rooms are very far apart, so there's no... The hair artists get into a lot of fights.
It's a bit like rubbing it in, really, isn't it? Working with Bill and having hair. It's luxurious.
It's a hair-heavy show.
Now, Dylan is about to go on a live tour. You were a stand-up initially, of course, weren't you?
Yes, I was, about 1,000 years ago. So I'm going out to gouge cash from youngsters.
That's admirable. Is this the first tour you've done since the Black Book explosion has occurred and you've become...
It's the first proper tour I've done in a while. Yeah, I did a small one a couple of years ago, and we went to, places like Bunbury and Tring, where nobody lives, and that was good, but we thought we'd go to some cities this time.
I'm interested as well, you're kicking off in Europe. You're in Brussels, then Paris, then Milan.
Oh, I always start in Brussels.
it's a kind of good luck thing, is it?
It is, yeah. You have to mingle with bureaucrats.
Who goes to see you in Brussels, Paris and
Milan?
Milan?
I have no idea, actually.
Milanese people?
I presume it'll be people who decide the shape of oranges and how much milk people should have.
Eurocrats.
Yeah.
And do you do these gigs in English, or do you try and adapt to the local lingo?
I might try Esperanto over there. I don't know.
Esperanto didn't really catch on the way we were hoping.
No, it didn't. I think 4 people were very good at it.
I'm sure it's a lovely language once you get a handle on it.
Yeah.
And then you go in Glasgow, New York. Then this is...
Yeah, it's really good. The drop-off is really good because it goes New York, Stafford.
Yeah. Who worked out this schedule for you? Have they seen a map? So you go from Europe to Glasgow, then over to New York, and then back to Stafford.
That is a bit of a nightmare drive, actually, New York to Stafford.
That's going to be an overnight.
And everywhere, Cardiff and Bradford and Leicester and all those. Reading,
all of it. Belfast, Armagh, Bradford, Cardiff, Ilfracombe.
Oh.
Down in your neck of the woods.
Devon.
Which is lovely, apparently. They grow their own cows there or something.
Ilfracombe sounds lovely, even if it isn't. I've never been there. And then Dublin, then the Hay on Wye Festival. You finish there. Where's London in there? London
is in mid-May. I do London for a week or something like that.
And what sort of material are you doing? Is this material...
Oh, I don't know. Don't ask that. I'm still doing it. I don't know.
Hasn't written it yet.
No, I haven't written it. I have. It's everything, life and death and love and sex and Christmas.
You draw upon your family?
I'll draw on anything and everybody. I'm sorry, and I know that sounds very vague, but that's only because I'm trying to be super vague.
Do you draw upon the Black Books experience? Do you talk about working on television? Do you talk about the show?
No, I don't really do that because I find a lot of people come on and they go, it's very hard because if somebody says to you, what was it like working with so-and-so, what can you do? Nobody ever comes on and says he was a bleep.
No one says the truth that often, though.
No.
Even if they weren't.
No, and I mean, I'm of course, and they all say, well, I've been very lucky. And I have been very lucky.
Of course.
Very, very lucky.
We don't dispute this. Incredibly lucky. Luckier than anyone else.
The luckiest man alive, and that everybody I've worked with has always been a complete gold-topped prince.
I've seen a picture of you wearing a very small green Irish hat.
So you tell me, but I haven't seen it.
I have seen this picture, and you dispute its evidence that it exists, but I've seen a picture of you, and it was of you wearing a tiny, like a leprechaun's hat.
Well, Jonathan,
It was in a magazine.
You're a Cockney. You have this vision of...
I've got a pearly suit at home.
You do. I'm wearing huge ski glasses.
I didn't imagine it. I'm sure I didn't imagine it. I'm sure. You've never posed.
It's your vision of the Irish
What about
nation.
in your youth? You've never posed wearing a small green derby?
In my youth, now that I cast my mind back to my youth, I never ever wore a green hat then.
I've seen this photograph.
When you were gargling eels down the market, I was not wearing a little hat.
This is not me casting any kind of cliched racist slurs at you or the good Irish people, but I have seen a photograph of you. Perhaps you were wearing it ironically.
Maybe it was so ironic it wasn't even there.
No, you have this photograph. I think, hey, how about this, Dylan? How about maybe you were having a picture and someone held it behind you and you didn't realise?
It could have been.
If you have seen this picture of Dylan wearing the hat, email us in, please, because I have seen a picture.
What about if it was the internet and someone doctored it and put the hat on
it was
him?
not a doctored picture. I know how to spot a doctored picture.
There's a big demand for that, for pictures of people.
I can understand why you're reluctant to talk about this period in your life.
It's
the hat wearing
total
period.
trauma.
Yeah.
What do you do? You live in Edinburgh now, is that right?
That's right.
How long have you been there for?
4 or 5 years or so.
Okay, whereabouts in Edinburgh itself?
In the new town, what they call the new town.
Okay, and at festival time, do you stay there? Do you enjoy the festival?
I have done sometimes, but it can get quite... People are banging pots and pans and setting themselves on fire, so you go and see their show. Can get a bit wearing after 3.5 weeks, so sometimes you have a whole day.
And do you perform at the festival still?
I might do this year. I might do.
That would be great, living there and performing.
You have to be young to do all that, though. You need a liver in cling film and...
But you're still a young man.
Well, I mean, for 3 weeks,
How old are you, Dylan?
You've asked me already. You've
Tell
fascinated
me again.
with this. Were you worried about dying or what?
Of course I'm worried about dying, aren't you? What do you sound
surprised? It's not going to happen in here, is it?
How do you know?
They've got staff and everything. They'll bring you something.
You could walk out now. We could both be knocked over.
Terry Wogan?
By an angry milliner. Can you do an impersonation of Terry Wogan?
Because I'm
No, I have asked lots of people there who aren't.
Will I just show you the crock of gold now?
No, we had Peter Sivanidis in last week and he did an excellent impersonation.
Squeeze my nipples, watch the Guinness fly out.
That's the best offer I've ever had near a Mother's Day. What do you listen to? What sort of music? You're a young man.
I liked Miss Winehouse. She was very good. I'd never heard her before.
I'll give you a copy of her album.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Proper jazz.
But you like jazz? Is that what you
I do. I like a lot of jazz, yeah.
What about rock and roll? Do you like the big music?
I like... I thought the White Stripes were quite frisky.
What a fantastic band. Well, shall we go to the White Stripes now?
Right.
That'd be good. We could have a White Stripes before we chat a bit more and finish up the show. You got White Stripes there?
Yeah, which one? Which one would you prefer? I quite like Black Math off that album.
Oh, do you? So all I like
Well, what do you like?
Flip a coin.
Which one?
This is Elephant.
Oh, the first one, Seven Nation.
Yeah, you can't be
Seven Nation Army.
Which, coincidentally, as you probably know, Dylan, I can play on the bass.
I knew that to look at you.
Yeah, let's have a listen to this and we'll settle that hat issue once and for all when this is over. So it's just a photo when you were a kid and you don't want to talk about it now.
No, exactly.
That was the White Stripes. What a fantastic track. You ever seen them live?
No, I haven't. I mean, they're so young as well. They're only about 11, aren't they?
Yeah, well, everyone seems young when you get older. How old are you, by the way?
I'm about 32.
Do you go out much? What do you do socially? What do you do for fun?
Well, I go out. I do go out, and then I find out tire of that, and I go in again.
Do you go to gigs?
It's been a while since I was at a gig. I think the last gig I saw was PJ Harvey.
What a lovely accent you have.
Again, thank you very much. Another thing that's out of my control.
But a lot of people have an Irish accent. It's not as nice as yours. But the way you said while then, it was nice, wasn't it?
The way I said what?
While.
While.
I went out while. It was so nice.
That's Inuit.
Yeah, I felt... We haven't had so many Inuits on the show recently. They don't like the hat chat that they get when they come in. You're also to be seen in a new movie coming out soon called Shaun of the Dead. Tell us a bit about this, will you?
Shaun of the Dead is a rom-zom-com. It's a romantic comedy with
zombies. A rom-zom-com.
A romantic comedy with zombies.
And this is it inspired by or based on the George Romero zombie movies?
That's a reference, those old zombie movies, but the title, it sounds like Dawn of the Dead, but it's not a parody of that or anything like that. It's inspired by the whole genre, really.
It's a whole new entity in itself, then?
Yeah, it is. And it's very funny, and it's very fast, and it's made by people who made Spaced, Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright.
I'm really looking forward to see it. I mean, British movies, generally, it's quite hard to get right, it seems. You know, a lot of people try and a lot of movies just don't quite click. But, I mean, if anyone has a chance, it's those guys, because Edgar knows his stuff.
Edgar knows his stuff. I mean, everybody is jumping up and down about it a bit. They reckon it's going to be quite good, you know. It's got great people in it.
I'm seeing it on Tuesday, I can't wait. And you've seen the finished product?
I have, yeah.
So you were pleased with it?
I was, it's always a shock.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to get. You never know what the cut's going to be like. But I'd like to see it again. But I really, really enjoyed it.
Without giving too much away, are you a dead person or a living person in the film?
I get around.
Okay. And in Black Books, are you a dead person or a living person?
Even I don't know that.
When you're playing a boozer on screen like that, and we almost run out of time, when you're playing a boozer, do people expect you? Are they disappointed if you don't turn up drunk?
I think people are. They sort of expect you to enter into buildings falling on your face and all that sort of stuff.
And are you a drinker?
I have a drink. Yeah, sure.
Have you had a drink this morning yet?
I'm 32. What?
We have a little hat we'd like to present you with before we go, if that's okay. We do this to all our guests, not just the Irishmans. Dylan, lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm sorry we didn't have longer together. Perhaps you'll come back during your tour, at the end of the tour, after the tour, and we'll chat again.
We'll talk hats.
That would be great. Okay, thank you very much for listening. Please join us again next week if you can. If any mothers are listening, in particular, Audrey Cresswell, happy Mother's Day. 88 to 91 FM, this is Radio 2 from the BBC.